what up? How is everybody doing? And welcome on this, well, at least for me, this rainy Sunday evening. Evening? Afternoon? 6 o'clock? Yeah, evening. But welcome! Welcome to some lovely, lovely world building action. Hello there. 'Tis me, the baddest of Chili's. Back at it again with some world building. So, also for those of you guys who may follow me, you know that on Tuesday nights on this same channel, I have my D&D campaign that I run, Drusatta, Rise of Legend, which is based in the world that I'm currently world building in. But the world building I'll be doing tonight, as well as the one I've done last time, I think I streamed it last week, maybe? I don't know. This is on a different continent. So anything we talk about tonight will not... It could affect it, but will not have an immediate effect on the game on Tuesday, due to the fact that they are still on the continent far to the west, Arcalia, and we are looking at the eastern continent of Sabrex. So, without any further ado, let's jump in. Bam! And we here. So, this is my Drusatta World Anvil, for those who are not familiar. Also, for those in chat, let me just do it for you real quick. If I do exclamation point Drusatta, make sure I spell it right. It's my fucking campaign world. Bam. So, exclamation point Drusatta brings you the link to this World Anvil page, where I keep all of my information. Let me just do a quick overview. I know most of the guys who are here probably... I keep looking over here. My camera's not there anymore. It's over here. I keep moving it back and forth, and it's fucking up my world. So, for those who are familiar, you've seen this before, I updated the theme, so it looks a little cooler, I think. Yeah. So I've done a little upgrading, as you can see, this stuff's kind of popping up here. So, one big thing I definitely want to update in terms of my World Anvil page is this, of course. I need to update the actual entry for the Sintarin Empire. So, as of right now, all I have in terms of information about the Sintarin Empire is very general. Yeah, I have from where their god fell to Earth, built the city, and then kind of jumped ahead. So I have a lot of stuff that's not included in there. The other big thing, too, for those who aren't familiar, over in... Actually, I can show you the home cage. There's different pantheons for each of the different nations. So, scroll to the bottom. Pantheons. Far, far to the west is Corinthus, which is the home of the elves, where they have their three goddesses, the three divine sisters. From there, heading east is Arcalia, where the campaign on my Tuesday nights is currently set in. They have all their whole pantheon. To the north is Bulgrim, the dwarvish continent, where they have theirs. To the south is the southern provinces, which they have their god and their evil god, basically. But in the east, where we have Sabrex, the Sintarin Empire only has one god. What I want to do for today is I've decided already that even though they don't have a full-on pantheon like the other nations do, I do want them to have different levels of it. So, like, there's going to be Sintar, who Sintar is their overall god, who they believe is the warrior god king. And then under him, I'm going to start having, like, demigods, where the idea is not so much that they're, like, spawns of Sintar, but the idea I had is that the Sintarin Empire is run by the Sinta, which is the overall ruler. And I had a cool idea that every passing Sinta, when they die, the idea is when they die, they go join Sintar in the afterlife, gathering his mighty army that at the end of days he's going to bring back. But the idea is each of them represents a different domain, basically, and they become almost demigods. So what I want to do now is, let me jump over my Google Doc stuff. I do want to... Google Doc. I want to come up with some different past rulers. Which, speaking of which, I'm going to have to probably change a couple things. Um, because as of right now, let me pull up Sintar and pull up the current Sinta. There she is. Okay. So, this is Sintar. Sintar is the warrior god king. And, he started out as a king of the Arcalian continent. Got really cocky, figured he was the greatest mortal ever, challenged the god of war, and depending on the interpretation, either he was exiled because he attacked the god of war after he'd already lost, or he was exiled because the Arcalian gods were jealous of his power. Obviously, the story depends on who you hear it from. But when he returned to the world and set up the main city of Asuna, I'm throwing a lot of information at you guys. I know that, so please use the World Anvil because I feel like I'm skimming over a lot of things that are a little more in depth there. But the idea was when he was exiled, for whatever reason it was, he was sent into the heart of a dying star, and that's supposed to be his prison. And then over the millennia, he eventually broke his way out and fell back to Earth, back to the world. And where he fell, spawned a massive crater, and in that crater he built his main city of Asuna. And from there, he eventually made the Sintarin Empire, built in his own image. And then when he eventually left, he didn't die, because at this point he actually sort of had achieved sort of a godhood. When he left the material plane, because he is going across the different planes, gathering up another army to come back and defeat the Arcalian gods that banished him. So that's where he is, supposedly. And when he left, he appointed the first ever Sinta, who is the main ruler of the Sintarin Empire. Basically, so instead of them calling them the Emperor, they're just the Sinta. Now, the other thing, too, was when I made the Sintas, I had this idea that they lose their identity and they just become just the Sinta. Like, no one knows who they are. No one knows their real names. No one knows a lot of stuff, really. But I had this idea of kind of doing something like that, maybe. What up, Zelda? Hey! James Cooper raid! What up, fellas? Thank you. Thank you for the raid, friends. I appreciate you. Yeah, so... Shit. So the idea, what I'm trying to come up with now is I want to come up with... Sintarin Demigods. I want to come up with a list of... Let's make a couple bullets. I want to come up with a list of past rulers, but I may have to change what I've already written, because... Insert predicted raid message here. Well done. Because I may have to change this, because the idea of this is that when she became the ruling Sinta, she like lost, like not lost, but like any mention of her before that was, they got rid of it. Because no one's really supposed to know anything about the Sinta before they became the Sinta. But if that's true, it's going to be really hard to come up with the past rulers because their names have been erased. Shit. Hello, the Raiders. James, what up, James? How are you? How are you doing, friend? Shit. So the one funny thing is, if you do end up following my my World Anvil account, I have been going back and just rechanging so many things. Like, I reworked the entire timeline the other day, actually. Because I felt like the timeline I had set up so far didn't make much sense chronologically. Like, not to mention, I'm trying to add more events that aren't just wars. Because that's my biggest problem, too. So, my timeline has been split up into... So there's... Oh my god, I'm just throwing information at you guys. So I apologize if you guys get lost. But again, if you want to follow along at home... Shit, what happened? If you want to follow along at home, ! Drusatta, Drusatta, and then it'll give you the link to my World Anvil page, and you can follow along. So there is, instead of so like we currently have BCE and CE, so before Common Era, Common Era. I have something similar. I have BGE and then AGE. So BGE is before God's Exodus. I enjoy beard, therefore I follow. Thank you, Scoops. Or Scopes? Scopes? Scoops? Scopes. Scopes? Scopes. And the idea is that there was this one defining event that all the gods of the various pantheons around the same time left. They left the material plane for various reasons. And then from there, the mortal races were left on their own. So they basically... Hey, thank you for the follow. So basically they... Words. I do words good. They defined their timeline from there. So everything from here is before the gods left. So there's the Age of the Divine, which is when the gods were still present. So we have when they arrived. We have basically all this stuff here is more or less where the gods came from, where like evil demon lords showed up, a war between gods and demons, centaurs, eventual. I hate children. So do I. Scopes. I like it. I like where your head's at. So where we have blah 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 blah. What's the words? I do words good. We have where Sintar challenged the god of war and was banished. We have the Sundering, which is one of the demon lords broke through the barriers and wrecked the world basically. And then we have the Twilight War, which is a war between the good and bad deities of the southern kingdoms, or southern provinces. Sorry. So after that, children are indeed horrible. You are correct, Lucifer. So after that, we have the Age of Doubt, which is from 0 BGE, so from the God's Exodus up until 533 AGE, where basically the idea I had for this, as a high school teacher's children are best when they go home. Yes, they are, Zelda. Preach. So this whole idea, the idea of this era was children are why I support stereotyping anyone below average intelligence, IQ. I'm just gonna say no comment. No comment. But I feel like everyone in chat knows my comment. So this is the era where the gods have just left, and everyone's like, "What the fuck do we do now?" So there's a lot of things going on where people don't really know what's happening. There's a conflict between the dwarves of Bulgrim and basically my wildlings, I guess, for lack of a better term. I didn't realize I'd done that until after I created them. This one here, this is a one-shot I ran, which fits into the timeline. And then Sintar comes back. Sintar returns 338 AGE. 20 years later, he founds the Sintarin Empire. And then eventually he leaves probably around 400, I want to say. Can we call your dad Chilii? You absolutely fucking cannot. Because, well, here's the thing. I've said this 100 times. If I ever have a child, that's awesome. I would love to have a kid. But kids that aren't mine, I hate you. You are a child that does not relate to me by blood. I don't like you. And I don't care who knows it. Genetically, that means nothing about the children necessarily. Yeah. Alright, okay, so it's my world building notebook. Okay, so, excuse me for a while as I try to figure out timelines. Because what I had before, everything was so scattered and, like, everything on the timeline versus what I'd written, the individual entries, didn't really seem to match up. So right now, what I've been trying to do is match everything up a little bit better and make it flow a little more. So other major events, wait, are these both Age of Doubt? Wait, where's Age of... Wait, what the fuck? What? I have 2 Ages of Doubt. What the see, here we go. Super lurk for the next 45 minutes, but I'm here for scrub support. Oh, thanks, Wheel. God damn it, why do I have 2 Ages of Doubt? I thought I fixed this. Fuck me. You scrubbing dishes? No, they all call me... most of my friends I play with just call me a scrub. It's kind of just a running joke. Fuck, what is... Fuck. The second one is just extra doubt. Fuck, I really thought I fixed this. No, you know what it is? I got it. I got it. This should be... Sorry, as I rename my ages. So this one should be Strife. Because Strife is when the different nations just are kind of rubbing themselves the wrong way. Just like they're not really getting along much. Nothing terrible. So then they go back to the timeline. So that's the Age of Strife. So the idea is that... View timeline. The Age of Doubt is the... Doubt 2, the Doubtening. Fuck you guys. So Age of Divine is gods are still around, everything's fine. Age of Doubt, they just left. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Strife. Actually, Strife should probably be shorter. And this one should just flat out be Age of War. Because this is, although I feel like Strife is the same as War. Because the idea is, so there's Divine in the very beginning. Let me jump back to Rebel HQ for this. Shut up. Alright, PCD, I hate you. So basically, Divine is gods are still there. Gods leave. Age of Doubt, where nobody knows what the fuck is going on. The original kingdoms are sort of forming. They're not nearly as strong as they were. Everyone's just kind of fucking scared. Like, the gods left us. What the fuck do we do now? And the Age of Doubt ends when the Sintarin Empire assassinates the Arcalian king and invades Arcalia. And that brings us into... Right? Did I say that? That's right, isn't it? Yeah, because Strife is more or less just smaller conflicts. Where, yeah, Age of Strife starts with the Sintarin invasion of Arcalia. Which kicks off the Founding Wars, which is different, more or less, different nations are, well, I should probably jump back to this. So now I've changed this back to Strife. So nations are kind of just finding out who they are. It's kind of a continuation of the Age of Doubt. Some of them are fighting each other, but it's not that great. Like, if anything, the Founding Wars... the Sintarin Empire fights Arcalia a little bit, but then has to withdraw because they're going through their own shit. We got the Middle Island conflict, which that's a whole other fucking thing. And then Age of War is when the Great War sets off. And this is like my World War, which lasts for 600 years. Doubt 5, Attack of the Doubts. PCD, I'm gonna fucking ban you again. Yeah, so we have this, and we have a bunch of different shit happens here. We have a siege, we have a holiday is brought about in this time. And there's the False Scar Rebellion, which maybe I should bump that up, actually. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Yes, I'm going to bump that up to, like, 700. Because that way, yeah, because then now... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I got it. I got it. Don't worry. 752. And ends in 756. It's 4 years. Okay, so now by doing this, let me just double check some things. Back to the timeline. Now, many of these are not fully filled in yet, so I'm still working on it. But the idea I have of this now is, where'd it go? There we go. So what I want to do here is, by having the Founding Wars happen here, so Sintarin Empire invades Arcalia. They're kind of fighting back and forth. The False Skull Rebellion happens, and then that makes the Sintarin Empire pull back out of Arcalia, and they're dealing with their own shit. Arcalia's in like a fucking power vacuum. Perfect. So they're fighting amongst each other, or amongst themselves. Sorry. And then Age of War is when the fucking whole, like, they're all the nations are set up, and they just start going at each other. And then eventually we have the Peace Accords, which ends it, and we are currently now in this current timeline. We are in the Age of Peace. 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 Why does it keep going back to that? You're driving me nuts. Okay, so that seems like a good start. I like it. Fuck you, Gaston. All right. So what I might have to do is fix the Sinta. Actually, I might have to actually give her a name. Or I could just do like the whole fucking King of England thing where they choose a title. They choose a name. Yeah. We're going to do that. That's what we're going to do. Each, so Sinta's... Why am I writing this in my fucking notebook when I have my computer right fucking here? Idiot. I like writing things down. That's my problem. All right, Sintarin. Okay, so... So far away. It's so far away. When they become the Sinta. As their true identity is... Did I spell that right? I spelled that wrong. So they choose a name when they become Sinta as their true identity is wiped away from public record. Okay, so now what I need is... So far away. A name generator! Fantasy names. Just click this away because I know the fucking main thing has weird videos that pop up. Fantasy race names, fantasy creature names. Is there a fucking Dungeons and Dragons name generator on here somewhere? Fuck me, goddamn shark. I like you, shark. Oh, here we go. Dungeons and Dragons. Oh wow, it's... I forgot how in depth this thing went. Let's go with human for a while, because Sintarin Empire is predominantly human. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. There's a fuck ton here. Oh, shit. Neat. All right, I'm definitely going to need this later on. Let me bookmark this. Put that in my D&D folder. All right. So, start with human. Let's just write down a couple of these. Ew. So, its name is Ew. I like it. All right. These ones I'm gonna fucking write down in my notebook and I'll copy them back over later. Alright, do I like any of these names for... I like that one. So, Grivan? That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. So, another thing I do a lot of times is if I'm struggling to find names, I will use a lot of different name generators. This specific site has a lot of different ones. Honestly, though, some of the names on here are kind of trash. So it's like you are now blank, who you were no longer exists. Yes, exactly, Sephrons. The idea is that they want to get rid of whoever they were, because the idea is that as the Sinta, the person in charge, you are basically... It's like it's a religious title as well. It's not just an emperor. It's like you're like the high priest too. So the idea is that you are supposed to be the voice of Sintar, the god. So the idea is that now. Naturally, people don't always believe it. It's like, let's be honest, no one really believes that God is talking to the Pope every day. But the idea is that you, as the Sinta, are communing with Sintar, and you know Sintar's will. And that way, you get rid of your old life as if that person never existed, and that you were just chosen. Like, almost like Sintar sent you to lead. Which most people, especially those higher up, know that like some of them know that person from like when they were in the army, and basically like I fucking like the current Sinta. The current Sinta was one of the best soldiers in the Order of the Black Sun. So there's people who know her and knew her before she was a Sinta, but even so, they know that like for the common people, like they have to act as if she was just sent. Like the Grand Devoted or the Voice of Sintar. Yeah, that's one of the titles. One of the titles is the Voice of Sintar. If I remember correctly, right? The Sinta. So her titles are Sinta, Voice of Sintar, High Marshal of the Order of the Black Sun. Yeah. All that fun stuff. So anyway, the other thing I do a lot is if I do find name generators, I'd still tweak them. because I do like this website especially, but a lot of the names are just like ridiculous. So for instance, this one, I like that one. I'm assuming it's probably Greven, but I like to throw like apostrophes in there, so it's like Grevon. Let's fucking fancy it up a bit. Look at that, I already had a fucking G there. Grevon. Okay. So we've got Grevon. Sintarin. So I'm gonna come up with like three guy names, like 2 girl names, and then like I'll just add like the first, the second, and shit like that. So was that 5 overall? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get rid of these. Pixel Mage, what up? Welcome. All right, so shit. Back to here again. So Sinta. Okay. So, let's find 2 more guy names. Old. Ooh, do old names? Oh, these are better. Okay. Probably they are named after the first Centaur ruler, i.e. there's only one name and one name alone. Maybe. I kind of think of it, too, as kind of like how it was in like, medieval England, where there was, like, a couple names that, hey, thank you for the follow, Pixel Mage. Like, there's a couple names where basically, like, Henry, George, James, and, like, no matter what your actual name was, you just chose, like, okay, I'm gonna be King Henry VIII, basically. And you just do that. Like, I wouldn't even... I can even see it lore-wise as the first couple use just their normal names, but then from there, upcoming Cintas chose those names instead. Like for instance, people believe that the first 3 or 4 were legitimately chosen by Sintar before he left, and then people just take those names, almost acting as if they're the Boom! I got it. Okay, so the idea is Sintar, before Sintar left, he appointed a Cinta, and there's at least like maybe 4, maybe 5 that went, and then he left. So the common person believes that the first couple Cintas were legitimately created and chosen by Sintar. They were like made in his image. So from there, each new Cinta takes on one of their names because the idea is that they're the reincarnated version of that Cinta. It's 11:25 p.m., so I needed some sleep. I joined Discord. Oh, thanks, Scopes. Appreciate you. Let me jump over and make sure I give you the correct role. Recruit. There you go. Sweet, thank you. Yeah, speaking of which, it's popping up every so often on the chat, but if you have any interest in joining my Discord, just !Discord or !Social if you want to follow me on Twitter and see my dumb thoughts. Like when I fangirl over Critical Role all the time. Basically, that's probably that's probably 85% of my tweets. Something to do with Critical Role. All right. Radbert. I don't know why I like that one. Barrett. I do like Barrett actually. Barrett. Phil. Boom. Phil. Sent to Phil. Oh my god, that'd be so dumb. Alright, Percy. Hey, it's a Critical Role thing. Wheaton! Oh my god, send to Wheaton! That'd be funny as shit. So would that mean that for each name they choose, they would dress in a certain way, i.e. George wore red or Phil wore blue? I like that. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Radbert's got me dying. I like Radbert, to be completely honest. Yeah, Sephiron's, I like that idea too. I like the idea that whichever one you are supposedly the reincarnated version of, you therefore model yourself after what that Cinta was like. So whatever the original ones acted like, you have to do that. Or even better, when a new Cinta is chosen, whoever they are more similar to, that's the name they have to take. Like, if... So let's add Barrett on there, because I do like Barrett. Barrett's a fucking cool name. So, like, Barrett. If someone... If the original Sinta Barrett was this hulking dude with a fucking great axe, and someone's chosen to be Sinta, who's a big-ass dude, they're like, alright, well, you're Barrett the Third. Because, like, it could be believable that if people read about the original Barrett as this huge fucking dude with a great axe, you're massive, here's a fucking great axe, you're Barrett now. So people are like, oh my god, like, it's Barrett, he's back. I like that. I'm doing that. Good idea, Sephiroth. Proud of you. Proud of you, buddy. Okay, when person becomes Sinta, they must model their lives after the Sinta they are named after. And to make it seem as though they are the reincarnated version of it. Now, the other thing too is, the way I imagine the Sintarin Empire is like a very militaristic religious cult. Not, I shouldn't say cult, because I don't want them to seem like they're I don't want any government to seem like, oh, they are clearly the bad guys, because there's no one. No one is clearly the bad guys. I want it to seem as though like they have nuances of some are good, some are bad, some are really good at this, but then like they're secretly racist, or this one, this group is militaristic and martial law, but they welcome anyone, like things like that, basically. Yeah. So I want to make it so, since this is more of a religious government, they're not lying. They're not like, okay, you're gonna pretend like you're this person so everyone believes you. Like, I imagine that when these people grow up, like, they're kind of groomed to be the next one, and not brainwashing, but like through their training and through their education, they genuinely believe that they could be the reincarnated version. And who knows? Some of them could be. Some of them could be, for all we know. Some of them literally could be the reincarnated version of whatever that Sinta was. Sort of reminds me of an anime I read where the leader of the religion looks and acts a certain way around everyone, even if it's only one person around them. Yeah. And the thing is, I don't want it to seem like, oh, they're just brainwashing them and they're not, it's not real. The idea is, we as people outside of this world would know that some of them genuinely believe they are. And if they can prove it, boom, they're in. They may not be. Some of them may be lying. Some of them may not. And I think that's a cool concept, because I think it's the cool idea of they're not lying, and they're not, some of them may be, but they're not like trying to do it to control the populace. Some of them may genuinely believe that they are, and I think that's a really cool thing. So we have Griffon, we have Barrett. Let's do one more old guy. Bruno. Gerald. Gerald, got it. Seth. I love these names. All right, let's go with this. All right, see, this thing that, like, some of these names are just too weird. They're too weird, and these ones are, some of these are too normal. Like, there's no in between. Ludolf. I do like Ludolf. I'm taking Ludolf. Yeah. I think Ludolf sounds more like militaristic as well. So let's get some lady names. Radbert. I kind of want to use Radbert. Fuck it, I'm adding Radbert in there too. We're just gonna have another one. Fucking Radbert. I don't know why that name is so funny, but I want it. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of Griffon. That's my compromise. Barrett, Ludolf, and Radbert. I think those are better. I think, yeah, Griffon was a little like, ugh. It didn't fit in with the rest of them. Carissa is not bad. Zora, not terrible. Although the theme I'm getting from these names is definitely more of a Western or Northern European name. So maybe I want something a little bit similar to that. Baby. Sinta Baby. Who would fucking choose that? Who's looking at this name like, Baby? Got it. There's my name. What would happen if two were up for the leadership position and they each resembled a different previous incarnation? Which one would be picked? That is a good point. I should probably come up with something for that. I like that, actually. Like, maybe they'd have some sort of trial to make sure that one of them's not in the... What I can imagine, too, is there's probably been plenty of people who've put their name forward saying, like, I'm the reincarnated version of this Sinta. And they have a trial of some kind where it's like, all right, fucking prove it. And some of them can do it, some of them can't. And, like, clearly, like, if someone doesn't prove it, like, all right, well, you fucking lied. Dead. All right. Come on. Come on. I need a good Lilith. Lilith is not. I'm gonna write that one down because it's not terrible, but I'm not deciding on it yet. So we got Lilith. I do like Lynette too. I don't know why these L names are sticking out to me. Graciela, interesting. Cinderella, boom. Logistilla, it's a weird one. Alexis, I kind of like that too. The way it's spelled too. Dominica showed up again. I do like that one too. Denise. What are female names that pop up here? So I kind of want something with like a harder consonant sound. Like I don't want it to be like too flowy with vowels. Like I kind of want like kind of how the other ones are. Like you have like Barrett, like Ludolf or Radbert. Like there's that hard consonant sound where I kind of want something similar, but like because I feel like everyone's like, oh, it's a girl name. They have to have a flowy vowel sound. Like I don't, maybe, but like I want like a cooler like. Something like you said a name like Sinta, poof, and it's like, oh, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Or am I just thinking way too into this? I'm probably just thinking way too into it. Griselda? Griselda's not bad. I'm gonna write that one down too. Griselda. Oh my god, Sinta Brittany! It's Brittany, bitch. I fucking hate myself. Take us to your leader. This is the Sinta. It's Brittany, bitch. Can I delete that from my stream? I just want to delete that. That I ever fucking said that. Ashford? That's not terrible. One thing I look for harsh sound random orc name generators. Yeah, I could try that. Yeah, let's do that. Where's orcs? Let's try half orcs first. Before we go full orc. Yeah, these are just too out there. I need that clipped. That I demand that NPC show for Tuesday game. Well, it's Brittany, bitch. Well, the one funny thing is, in the last couple one-shots I've ran, there's always a character named Becky that shows up who always fucks everything up, and people are like, God damn it, Becky. What the fuck are these names? Jesus Christ. Female elf name, because some of them are elves. Delin? Delin's not bad, actually. Okay, so let's put these names up for contention here. We've got Lilith. Hey, Maria, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. Lynette. Alexis. I'm assuming that's how you would say that. Dominica. We got Griselda. And we've got Dallin. And then what was the last one I just looked at? Was it Dallin? Yeah, it was Dallin. Okay. So, these are the names we've got picked out. First, let me make this all this text a little bit bigger so chat can fucking read it. A little bit bigger. There we go. It's a little better. Okay. So, let's at least probably have a name that could work for either male or female. That's true. I think Dallin could. Yeah, go with Dallin. Dallin's definitely making the cut because I feel like that could also work for guy or girl, and I think it has a better sound to it. It's, why did you clip that, Zelda? Why? Why? Fucking assholes. I hate you guys. Because now I can't, God damn it. Now I can't stop thinking about like this like really tense like political situation, like, we're here to speak to your leader. Take us to her. It's like, be sure to bow in front of her excellency, the Sinta Brittany. It's Brittany, bitch. I'm here to fuck shit up. Fucking dickheads. I hate you guys. Okay, so Dallin, absolutely. Get rid of Lilith. Get rid of Lynette. Get rid of Alexis. I like Griselda, but I kind of like Dominica. Because I need that NPC in my life. I will tell you, there is a Becky somewhere in Arcalia. That's all I can say. Somewhere in Arcalia, there is a Becky. And Becky talks like this. And the party may run into her. It depends if they get to her. Because I know where she is. And I'm not telling anyone until they get there. She's in a very specific city, and they have to find her. Yeah, do you really think I was going to fucking make Becky again? Becky's in all of my one-shots. Fuck yeah, Becky's going to be somewhere in my campaign. I might roll stats for it, too. No, Brittany's the name of the Sintar ruler who is full of muscle willing dual great axes. What? We're looking for Sinta Brittany? Just massive, like, Goliath woman. What? Got a problem? It's Brittany, bitch. Oh my god. This is the Sintar. Britannidium. It's Brittany, bitch. You need to run and a bend. Oh god. I hate myself sometimes. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. We'll do all of them. That is an NPC that must be made. Just some ridiculously complicated spelling of, like, Brittany. What the hell's your name? It's Brittany. It's Brittany Batch. Fuck it. Maybe I'll make a Brittany, too. Somewhere in Arcalia. Brittany and Becky. Best friends. Oh my god, welcome to our shop. How can we help you? This is so much better, please. Somewhere in Arcalia, there is a shop of, I don't know what they sell yet, but it's the twin sisters of Brittany and Becky. Oh my god, you made it to our shop. We're so happy to see you. What can we do for you? Brittany. That Brittany better be bait on a drug-fueled rampage. Oh. Okay. Alright, so we have our original... It just keeps getting better. So this specific Sinta, I think, is going to be... Now, she's an elf, so she's been Sinta for over 600 years. So, fuck me. I gotta do a timeline of this shit, don't I? Open the timeline. So, she was born in 1243, which she probably took the throne probably around 15 something. So let's say 1567. Looks like Chad is fleshing out an NPC. Apparently! I don't know why I let myself do this. Okay, so, Sintar showed up in 338. So let me map out my timeline here. So he showed up in 338. He founds the Empire in 357. Let's say he leaves 507. So somewhere in that how long is that? So that's math. Hold on. So 507 minus 357. 0, 10. So wow, 150 years. We've had 6 different Sintas. Where are they? 6. So divided by 6, 2. Okay, so each one ruled for 25 years, roughly. Okay, that makes sense. So from there, over the course of 1,000 years, basically, we need to figure out how many more Sintas there's been. So if we throw in some elves rule for... we're going to roll for this. So let's do a d12. So this is going to determine how many elves have ruled in that 1,000 years. 10. Wow, 10 elves. Okay, so that's a lot, actually. Let's do it. Well, that'll be 10 rulers. So it's been 10 rulers since. And then we can just fill them in from there. So of the 10, 4 were elves. That's a little more manageable. Okay. So 4 were elves. Let's say they ruled for 200 years each. 200 times 4 is 800. Which leaves 200 years for the 6. 3, 20... goes into 20, 33. Okay, actually, that makes sense. You never know. You could have it. Their deity was gravely wounded as they awaited their return once they have been healed. Wait, who? Okay, so we've had 10 rulers, 4 which 4 of them were elves. So the elves would have probably taken... Okay. So there's... So 10 rulers... Whoops, wrong chat. No worries. Okay, so we got 1, 2... I have 6 of these? Okay, beautiful. So, the first 3 rulers, I'm going to roll a d6. And that determines who was what. So the first 3, there was 1 Barrett and 2 Radberts. The next 3, there is another Barrett and 2 Dominicas. One Dalen, 1 Griselda, and another Dominica. And the last one is another Dalen. So there's been no other Ludolfs since then. Okay, that makes sense. So, now, with this new Sinta, she's going to pick Dalen. So she's Dalen the Third. Beautiful. Okay. So, let's edit her. So, Sinta, Dalen the Third. right? Did I spell it? Daylin, right? Yes. Oh. Okay, so let's save that real quick. Radbert squared. I'm pumped Radbert got 2 of them. I'm happy about that. Alright, so let me change this real quick. So this is Sinta. Not much is known of, so I can get rid of the currents of Sinta Daylin the Third. Not much is known of Sinta Daylin the Third, who sits upon the blackened throne before she took the role of leadership as a tradition. Blah 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 blah. Now, one thing I gotta check out too is somewhere in here I've written that some people think she's the one that ordered the assassination of Yendel, which she wasn't even alive then, so I gotta take that part out. Get rid of that. Now, the other big thing too is that gonna fuck shit up because of me changing the title of the article? I don't know. So how's that look now? There we go. Sweet. Okay, so it's still right. Cool. I like that a lot better now that she has a full-on name. Beautiful. And with the power of the die, we have created our rulers. Okay, so let's go back to here. So now what we should do is be right back. My network's having a seizure. Oh, no worries. Okay, so now what we should do is we should also explain what each one was like, whether it's appearance or general what do you call it? I guess appearance or just kind of personality. Mostly because the idea I want to have is that in Arcalia, in Bulgrim, or other places, if you make a paladin or a cleric, you have different options to choose from. Whether you're like, if you're an Arcalian cleric of nature, you have the nature goddess. If you're the Arcalian cleric of death, you have a death cleric, or a death goddess. Things like that. But I was worried that with only having just Sintar, it wouldn't make much sense, because he can't really be the god of everything, I guess. I don't know. Perhaps there's a reason why there's only been one loot off. Very true. You know what? I'm gonna do this. So, Ludolf was a skilled mage who helped bring higher learning of magics to the Empire. However, he was found out to be dealing in necromancy and was killed secretly in a coup so that the people of the Empire never found out. There we go. Okay, yeah. So that way, like, if people are like, okay, yeah, like, I am the that'd be even cooler than if people show up like, I am the reincarnated version of Sinta Ludolf. Like, oh yeah, come to your trial. Kill him. That'd be, yeah. Fuck yeah. I like, okay. If a person claims to be a reincarnated version of a past Sinta, they must complete a trial. If anyone claims to be the reincarnation of Ludolf, I spelled reincarnation wrong yet again, they are taken to their, quote, trial. But then are murdered. Bam. Yeah, okay, cool. Now, the other cool thing, too, is I have an idea that a lot of times, the only time they ever accept the... I'm going to write this down, yeah. These trials are only accepted when a current Sinta has died or, quote, left to go to Sintar's side. So that way, like, they can explain away why each Sinta doesn't die. They've just left to go. Because I guess to them, especially later on, the higher-ups in the Order of the Black Sun would market it as the reason why this body has died is because the spirit of the past Sinta has left to go back and help Sintar. Which will explain why either they are faking it or the reincarnation is smart enough not to let their true identity be known. Yeah. Very true. That is true. Which would be funny if there legitimately was a reincarnation of Ludolf who started, like, gathering, like, a little cult to himself and trying to overthrow the Empire because of what was done to him. That's a cool fucking idea. I'm putting that down so I don't forget it. Possible story thread. Someone actually is the reincarnation of Ludolf and plans to overthrow the Empire. Bam! Boogie, what up? This is me doing some world building. The Cult of Ludolf. Oh, yes. I like it. I like it a lot. Cool. Okay. So let's work on Barrett. What's Barrett? Barrett. When I think of Barrett, I think of Final Fantasy, like massive dude. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Barrett was one of the first people to find Sintar when he crashed to Earth. Oh, yes. Okay, so former member of the False Scar Tribes. Client gave me some hibiki. I was gonna mix it with some coke and realize what it is. What is it? Is it like a sake? Okay, so one of the first people when he crashed to Earth, helped him recover, and Sintar trained him as his first apprentice. Oh, Japanese whiskey. Gotcha. Grew into a intelligent tactical leader. 705th. Dang. grew into an intelligent tactical leader and helped Sintar form the First Legions. Okay, so, now, one cool thing we can do now, which, Sephrons, I'm gonna need your help for this because you're fucking really good at this. We should come up with a trial for each Sinta. Meaning, if you show up, you're like, hey, I'm the reincarnated version of Sinta Barrett. Oh, okay, here's your test. And it's something specific to that god. So, like, Barrett was a tactician. So, I'm imagining, like, they give you, like, maybe, like, all right, sit down, play a game with us. And, like, they play, like, a board game or something. And that board game, like, it's, like, almost like the Kobayashi Maru. Where, like, they're given a test they have to do. And only someone who is a reincarnated version of Barrett, or someone who's just really tactical, would know how to win. Like, maybe not something like the Kobayashi Maru, where, like, you'd have to realize that, like, you can't win, but, like, something along the lines where either it's a game, or it's a fight, something where you would have to use tactics to win. And only by winning could you prove that either you are the reincarnated version of Barrett, or possibly you are just a really intelligent, tactical person. Like I could imagine someone growing up through the ranks and just being tactical, and like one of his commanders being like, "Holy fuck! Like this guy could be Barrett." A game of Go. Sit down, play Monopoly with us. Oh God, not Monopoly. All right, so I'm here now, and for this now, it starts was binge watching a sci-fi show. Oh, what are we watching, Will? Play a game / fight where you must use a strategic mind. Like I could even imagine it as something like playing a game of Risk. And not, it is time for some Harbinger. Time for Harbinger ASAP. I agree. Dude, I fucking loved Harbinger. We gotta play Harbinger again sometime. I think next time... Oh, Expanse? How is it? How is Expanse? I've heard good things, and I really want to check it out. Because I've seen there's some episodes on Netflix. Okay, maybe I will watch it, because I've been hearing a lot more about it recently. So, definitely. Okay. So Ludolf doesn't have a trial because you just fucking get killed. Now, Radbert. Lucifer, are you still here? You're the one, it's everything Firefly should have been. Oh, shit. Nice. So, Lucifer, if you're still here, help me figure out Radbert, because Radbert's your boy. Oh, yeah, fuck, I fucking love Firefly. Firefly's incredible. So we got Barrett. Barrett was one of the first commanders, and he's incredibly intelligent, tactical. Maybe Radbert. I want one of them to be like a just martial fighter, like just incredibly skilled. Like maybe even like a barbarian, like a berserker. Could make Radbert the berserker actually. I might do that. Yeah, Radbert was a member of the early legions. And during a campaign far from home, Radbert was one of the few survivors when the other legions found him. He had held off an advancing army and allowed the legions to arrive and protect is it yes, absolutely. His trial's a gauntlet. Trial is a gauntlet. Yeah, I absolutely think so. Now, any of you guys ever watch Voltron in chat? Because there's something similar I was thinking about for one of the Sintas. And I think it might even be for Barrett. I don't want to spoil it. If people haven't seen it though, because it's later on in one of the seasons. All right. Well, you guys decide if you have either watched Voltron or don't want to get spoiled. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back. Noah, you're in charge. Okay, so back. Okay, so no one said anything, so I can probably spoil it. So there's an episode of Voltron where one of the characters has to go through a trial, and it starts out as a gauntlet, and he's getting his ass beat, and then eventually the like every round he fights more and more people. So it starts off as 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. But eventually he realizes that he has to get past them, like, into another door. So the fight was nothing. Like, he wasn't even supposed to be fighting. He was supposed to get around them. So I thought maybe that'd be something for Radbert. But I don't know. I could be talking about Voltron. Hello! Hello, Becca. Hello. And yes, John. I loved it as well. It was so good. Yes. So currently, Becca, I am doing some world building for one of the continents in my world, and the idea I had was that throughout history there have been these 6 main rulers from the beginning of this empire, and the idea is that every so often, when one dies, another one will come forth who is a reincarnated version of one of these original 6. And to prove that, if they say I'm the reincarnation of this one, there's a specific trial to do with it. So the first one, Barrett, was incredibly intelligent and a tactical leader. So the idea I had was his trial is like you have to like play a game, or there's some sort of fight where it requires you to be strategic. And the idea I had was when oh my god, Keith. When Keith had to go through the trial with the Blade of Malmora, I thought something like that, where like it's not about fighting, it's about getting past the fight to something else. So I'm gonna put that up here. So in quotes. So his trial is kind of like Keith's fight. yes, I like all of this. With blades in Voltron. Okay. So this one, this guy was like literally a fucking berserker, so his is easy. It's just a random gauntlet. Dalen. Okay, so Balin, where is? Fuck me. Where'd that page go? There we go. Sent to Dalen the Third. So, Dalen. What what about her made her a Sinta? I need to watch the rest of the show, and let's. Oh god damn it, Becca! Then you should have said no spoilers. Unless you got to that part, I don't know. I forget what season that was in. All I know is, The season gets... The show, I should say, gets real fucking good when a certain character shows up, who is my all-time favorite character. Oh, yeah, Will, it's a brand new thing. Watch. Go to your dashboard. If you go to... you can do that now, where it's something in configuration. So, the configuration all the way down at the bottom, there's now themes you can do. Yeah, this is my favorite one. I like Opulent. This one's pretty cool. The other ones are kind of like, eh. Scripture's alright. It's a very fantasy-looking theme, but, like, some of the letters come out weird. So I left it as just Opulent. Evelyn? Evelyn! Hello! Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I apologize. I saw the season right before Lotor. Okay, so you know Lotor. Lotor's the fucking shit. I've been working on some settings myself. How do you do wandering monsters? Honestly, I still need work when it comes to encounter building. But mostly what I do is, especially now, I use Kobold Fight Club in terms of how to set them up. But in terms of like which ones to pick, Xanathar's Guide has a really cool thing, a breakdown of like what monsters show up in different settings. Whether it's like a forest, mountain, city, things like that. It's CSS time to bring up my MySpace themes. Fuck you, Will. Alright, so, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, I'm going to make Dalen that, because the current Sinta I have, I imagine her like this one. Yeah, so, Dalen. I've been using DMG for selling monsters and trying to make them on table. Gotcha. Okay, I have Strahd student enjoy world building. Miss your face. I missed you, Becca. We gotta hang out again soon. Oh man, there are tons of tables out there for that. Yeah, there are. I know. Will, you might be able to find more things. I know. I'm pretty sure Metal's OneDrive has a lot of stuff too. I think. Yeah, there's a bunch of tables. Evelian? Am I saying that right? Ivelian? Levelian? Vel? Yeah, but there's a lot of tables you can find for it. And I'd say the most easiest thing to do, obviously Dungeon Master's Guide's a good start to get you more comfortable with the concepts. I like Xanathar's. I don't know where the fuck it went. It's probably somewhere in the other room, like in my living room. But in the back of the book, it has legitimately broken down by the setting of it. Whether it's, again, forest, mountains, caves, all that stuff. Yeah, okay, Drive-Thru RPG has a lot of stuff. So I could say definitely check there as well. Donjon.com? Why do I know that? I feel like I've checked that up before, but I forget. Yeah, no, DMG does. But I feel like it's not nearly as in-depth as some other ones can go. Not to mention, too, if you, working on the coastal monsters, gotcha. One of the big things, too, is I don't do many wandering encounters. I should probably start, honestly. Most times when I design my sessions, I have set things of, like this is the quest you're on. You do this, do that, do this. I throw an occasional thing every once in a while. Like, I know my Tuesday game a couple sessions ago, they were heading up to the mountains to track someone down, and I threw goatmen at them. But I probably should start doing that more often. Just have an idea of, like, different things that they could run into. Because I like the idea of... I guess if I'm getting rather... my own personal experience with it, I played in a campaign before where it was just wandering encounters after the one after the other, after the other, after the other. And it got to the point now where, like, we had a quest to do, and we would lose... I would lose track of what we were doing because it was like fucking Pokemon. Every 3 steps we had another encounter. And I'm like, what the, like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing anymore. Like, this is in the Underdark too. I didn't care for the Underdark, at least not the way it was run. And I'm like, this is so boring. Like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like, okay, Let's check this hallway. Monster! Okay, we beat the monster. What's 3 steps ahead? Monster! I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, let me do something. Xanathars is exactly what I've been trying to do for myself. I told you. Yeah, Xanathars is really fucking cool. There's a very delicate balance of encounters versus story. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's what I meant. I mean, like, Xanathars is a fucking gift. I almost didn't buy it because I knew it had the extra classes, and it had stuff for playing out backgrounds, and I was like, I'm a pretty creative person. I can come up with my own background. But I think it was Will who told me, and Will was like, it's so much more than that. And I got it, and I got to the DM section. I'm like, holy fuck. Yeah, Xanathars is arguably the best book. I rarely ever use normal Player's Handbook subclasses anymore. I use Xanathars. Because I feel like everything in Xanathars is just infinitely better than the ones in the book. Yeah, I'm trying to think right now if there's any that I would prefer from the Player's Handbook. I should say, I still prefer Fiend packs of Warlocks. I do like those. Rangers, Xanathars is better. Rogues, I've only ever played one Rogue. I'm still working on it right now. So I don't know much about Rogues, so I can't really speak to Rogues that much. Clerics, Player's Handbook. Because I love my Tempest Cleric. Bards, I played like one Bard, and like a one-shot, so I don't know much about Bards either. Barbarians, I love my Totem Barbarian. Don't even get me started on 5e Rangers. What? What's wrong with Rangers? Well, I love Rangers. Especially now that they've been updated. Barbarians, Barbarians are the ones I love them in both. I think the Barbarian class is one of the most well-balanced ones, honestly. Or maybe not well-balanced. It's one of the best, because every option is awesome. Totem is great. Berserker is great. I haven't played any of the ones in Xanathars, but they just look fucking awesome. Like, Ancestral Guardian looks cool. Storm Herald, Zealot. Fucking Zealot has the ability to... You could be at 0 hit points, but if you're still raging, you just fucking keep going. So until your rage ends, if you've been healed, you don't die. It's just ridiculous. I do too, but 5e mechanics for Rangers garbage. Well, yeah, the updated ones are better, but the original ones, yeah. Which is funny because I've played the original Player's Handbook Ranger, and I liked it, but I was like, I don't want to do Beastmaster. It's boring. The Hunter's okay, but then fucking Monster Hunter is sexy. Monster Slayer is so sexy. I played it in one of Cabooses one-shots, and I felt so... What's the word I'm looking for here? It just felt good playing that class. Because Monster Slayers have this... Let me jump over to here since I'm not doing this stuff right now. Monster Slayers have this thing called... like Slayer's Prey. And the idea is you choose... What is it? It honestly isn't bad. It's just compared to what they could do in 3.5. Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. I never played 3.5, but I know I'm assuming that since then it's been nerfed pretty hard. Or maybe not so much nerfed, just made simpler. Because people like me, I tried to get in when they were still doing 4th edition, and I had no fucking idea what I was looking at. None of it made sense. I have the 4th edition books behind somewhere deeper in my HQ. I still have them. I have the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, and Monster Manual for 4th edition. Don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. But I don't know. I disagree, Will, because depending on what type of ranger you play, like, I think they're great. Like the idea with Monster Slayer Ranger, which I'm gonna talk well about that till I die. I had something where there's an ability called Slayer's Prey, where you choose one monster and you add an additional D6. So what I did was, and it refills every short rest. I basically waited till we got to the main monster I knew we were fighting that day, and dropped the Slayer's Prey and Hunter's Mark. So, and not to mention, it was also my favorite enemy. So I'm dealing extra damage. I'm dealing an extra 2d6 because of Slayer's Prey, and Hunter's Mark. Oh, God, it felt so good. 4E is the dark times no one talks about. Yeah, I bet. But, like, I got into it, and the thing is, 4E almost turned me off of D&D completely. Because I had no idea what the fuck I was looking at. I'd never played before. I had no friends around me in real life to help me play and learn it. So I'm looking at the book, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this means. Like, they had talk about, like, controllers and, like, different classes of enemies. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means. I know now, now that I've kind of looked into it more. But then, thanks to Critical Role, Acquisitions Incorporated, and then 5th edition, I picked up the book, and I'm like, this fucking makes sense. And the one good thing was, again, I didn't have any in-person friends at the time who played it. So, so I spent my first couple months just reading the book. Like, front to back. The reason why some people say I know a lot about... I don't know a lot. I know many of the rules from other classes, basically because I read it so much. I had nothing else to do, so I just read it. I am the only person on the face of the earth, except for Matt Cove, that loved 4th edition. I didn't hate it. That's the thing. I'm not saying I didn't hate it. I just couldn't get it. I couldn't understand it. Like, 5th edition was so streamlined that, it just made more sense. I don't know. I don't have enough experience to say if 4th edition was bad. I just didn't know enough. I couldn't figure it out. What the fuck does this all mean? I'd run 4E for you. Yeah, I still have the books in the back. I'd have to figure it out again. But, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Put it in the shelf next to the old. Don't talk about old. That was fucking ridiculous. It's easier when you play it most. Yeah, I agree. And that's one of the big reasons why I feel like I learned D&D 5th edition so well. It's because of watching Critical Role. Like, I had my books, and, like, I legitimately was, like, reading the books along with them and learning how to play by watching them, which was pretty cool. All right, anyway, let's jump back to our world building. Actually, what time is it? Do I have time for my game? My game's at 8. I got a little more time. So, we need to figure out what 3 more Sintas. What are they like? What are their personalities? Okay. I still imagine Barrett as like a big guy. Maybe, actually, you know what? I'm gonna make Barrett the this one, because Radbert doesn't really sound much like a fucking warrior. Barrett does. Sinta Barrett. Boom. And Proclaimers of Heroes. There we go. Okay, so now Radbert. I still need to figure out what the fuck Radbert's deal is. That fucking name. Ooh, yeah. Come on. Turn the music up just a little bit. Let me know if the music's too loud, by the way. I can always turn it back down. Because I know my voice is fucking loud AF. Because I'm looking over at like, I'm not even talking. I don't think I'm talking loud, but my fucking thing's like all the way up. Okay, so Radbert. What do you like, Radbert? Okay, I got it. Radbert, was a skilled negotiator. And, highly charismatic. When the previous Sinta died, Radbert, was up against three other contenders, and through his wits and slyness? Is that a word? Basically, the idea I have for Radbert is Radbert's not really a big guy. Like, Radbert's just like, Radbert was someone who he wanted to become the next Sinta, and he was up against like these other people who were all vying for the title, and because of him being so like sneaky, like he basically either talked his way into it, into getting people to back down, or like assassinate him. Like he's to do it this way. I'm imagining him in terms of classes. So Dalen is a fighter, Barrett's a barbarian, Radbert's a rogue, Ludolf was a necromancer. So now I just got to figure out how to work that into backstory wise, and split connections. Okay, so their trial. What's a roguish trial? What's a trial that a rogue would go through, or something better yet, something that basically fuck. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Where basically something a rogue would be good at. Something that's kind of like right in a rogue's wheelhouse. Got it. Okay. Retrieve an item. Retrieve an item from a place, wherever. But when they get there, the guards already know they are coming. So, basically the idea I have with this now is... I don't know if that fits, though. No, I don't like that now. I don't like that. Yes, Will. This is a cover of the Phantom of the Opera, which I like. I like it a lot. Sing once again with me. All right. Focus. Focus, Chilii. Shit. Fuck me. This is gonna be hard. I like the idea of like him using it like he was almost like a spy master. I kind of like the idea of the trial is something where they would have to prove that they have the ability to kind of get dirt on people, but I don't know how to like. Shit, this is hard. So I'm thinking about something where basically they would have to find information, or maybe they'd have to already have it. Follow a target, gain intel, plan the assassination, and follow through. I got it. I got it. Okay, so the trial is so I like your idea, Will, but I'm gonna tweak it a little bit. So they are told no. They are told they will not become the next Sinta unless they can prove it at the next So the idea that's going through my head right now is that at first they're like, no, like whoever they meet with is like, you're not, no way, you're lying, you're not going to be the next Sinta. But then they're like, you can try to see us again in a week, and we'll decide. And no, even better. Okay, so this person comes up, they're like, I am the reincarnated version of Radbert. And they have like a little bit of an interview with like three random officials. And they say, we'll have our decision next week. And then the next week, no matter what, they say no. Like, it's not you. And if this person is the reincarnation of Radbert, they would have gotten blackmail. And they would have been said, like, oh, that's a shame. It'd be a real shame if this information came out, or if your wife found out about your mistress, like, and then they'd be like, you're in. Like, because it proves that he has to find a way to get this information. I like it. Okay. Meets with officials who tell them they will have decision in a week. Officials will say no matter what. If the applicant uses blackmail or has information, then they are approved. Boom. Like it. I like it a lot. Alright, so I want to just finish up these last two, and then we should be fine. So, Dominica. So, Dominica has had 3 people become the next Dominica so far. But why? What has she done? Or what have they done? Okay, so the idea I have for Dominique, which would be kind of cool, is kind of bardish, where like they have these grand stories of things they've done, and they wow the populace, and they're okay. Yeah, so we're gonna do that because the idea I have right now for the trial is they must tell tale of what they have done, and like the more outrageous the better, but they also must be able to they must tell tale of what they've done. More outrageous the better. The officials will then poke holes in every story. If the applicant, use that again, sounds so weird. If the applicant, like it's a fucking job interview, can talk their way out of every lie, they are accepted. I don't know why. I think it's a cool thing. Like, what have you done with your life? Like, oh, I've done this, I've done that, blah, blah. I've killed this dragon, I've done this. It's like, actually, no, you didn't. This person killed that dragon. We have records of it. No. They didn't kill that dragon. The thing was, I was there with them, and because of my efforts, the dragon was killed. I just, I figured that it would let them take the credit for it for now, but really it was me. It's just how I am. And, like, they have to keep up those lies. I like that. I like it a lot. So, Dominica was a well-renowned sage. Not sage. I don't want to listen to Dreamweaver right now. Ba-da-ba-ba-da, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. In the Sintarin army. Oh, God. Okay, so Sintarin army, who was ruthless and strived for glory. She often spun tales to make herself the main reason the army won, etc. Grew to be well loved by anyone she met. Alright, I'll work on that later too. Griselda. Okay. Trial. Hunt down a beast terrorizing nearby town. Beast was released by officials. Okay, so this is gonna be easy. Was a great hunter in the beginnings of the Empire. She slayed massive beasts in the Legion's conquest of the continent. Alright, that one's easy. So Griselda was basically, so we got a ranger here. Okay, I'm getting rid of, I'm changing Dominica. Dominica was in the army, who, faced down countless scores of demonic and fiendish influence. Now, fellow D&D nerds, correct me if I'm wrong. Demonic and fiends are different, right? Like, demonic is abyss, fiends is hells? Or is that backwards? Because I know there's a difference. I know it's... devils are absolutely hell. I know that. And then something else is in the abyss. So what are fiends abyss or are fiends... I know devils and demons are different. Are fiends abyss or are fiends the nine hells? That's what I can never remember. Because if fiends are abyss, then demonic and fiends are the same thing. You know, I'll say demonic and devilish. So it's... oh, fiends is both. Okay. So, yeah. So, we'll say... so, scores of... fiendish. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, the trial now, because I don't like that one of them having to lie. So, now, Dominica was a paladin. And they're from the abyss. Okay. Because that's the one I do remember. I do remember that sorry. Demons and devils are different. I know that. Demons are abyss. Devils are hells. And then fiend... okay, so then fiend is just both. That makes sense. Locked in a cell near other captured devils. If they are corrupted, they... oh, actually, I have an idea. Okay, so their trial is taken to a room. No, I got it. Okay. So they're locked. They are locked in a cell. Locked in a cell near a bound human and captured devil. After days of being near them, they are released under the condition that they must kill one of the other prisoners. So the idea is that if you, like, you're stuck in this cell where you've got a devil on one side and a human on the other, and naturally, like, the devil's going to be corrupt, like, trying to corrupt you as the human's trying to, like, be saved. And then when you're released, you can either, if you're corrupted, the devil will be like, kill the human and I can give you power. And then if you go to kill the human, you're murdered. But if you kill the devil, then you become the next one. So, yeah. Booyah. I like that. But that is all based on the setting and the structure of your hell, honestly. So as of right now, the idea I have is D&D has the already established planes, the inner planes, the outer planes. I like to imagine that my world is just another material plane. So, like, Faerun exists, Greyhawk exists, the Dark Sun setting exists. This is just a different plane. So, and I use that because if I ever design characters from my world, I can transplant them to other campaigns. Like, Jarek. Jarek Hailstorm was a character I made in one of my friend's campaigns, who I retooled him, and he exists in this world somewhere. And there's been many times that I've played him in other one-shots, and the reasoning is that him as a paladin, he has the ability to move between planes because he has, like, allies that use planar transport, or he can be summoned, and he protects other planes as well because he wants to make sure his home plane is always protected. Just an idea. So, alright, cool. We got everything. So we got our first guy, who's basically our Berserker. His Trials of Gauntlet. The Necromancer, if you ever claim to be the reincarnation of this guy, you're like, oh, come to your trial. Dead. Radbert is the rogue, basically, the spy. So you have to show off that you know you can blackmail people, you can do all that stuff. Dalen is your fighter, who's the more strategic one. Dominica is the paladin. Griselda is the hunter. Griselda, not Griselda. Cool. All right, boom. We got our fucking demigods, people. All right. Coo. Okay. So with that, I am probably gonna get going because I have D&D in 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go get something to eat, grab a drink, all that stuff. Devils just kill and devour your souls. Demons can be enslaved, make deals with. I thought you could make a deal. You can make deals with devils. It's in the fucking deal with the devil, right? Whatever. All right, so my hand! What is wrong with me? All right, so I'm gonna get going. Thank you guys for coming to watch. I really appreciate it. Again, this is world building in my homebrewed world of Drusatta. Which every Tuesday night on this channel here, you can come watch the games, Rise of Legend, which are based in the continent to the west of Arcalia, and we have been working on the continent to the east, which is Sabrax, home to the Sintarin Empire. So, what you can do, you can follow me on Twitter, you can join my Discord, all that fun stuff. You can also look me up on World Anvil. Follow my world, give it some favorites, check it out, give some feedback if you want to. I have a channel in my Discord specifically made for world building. So if you have world building ideas or if you have suggestions for what I could add in, please do. As you guys have noticed, half my ideas come from working with, I like getting other input, because if I just went to just my ideas, it's not very three-dimensional, in my opinion. Whatever. So, regardless, let me jump over to Twitch and see who I can host. Actually, I'm not gonna host anybody right now, because also in 20 minutes, if you go over to that command, that's Metal's channel, Metalgods 666, but the Metal is with an I, so METAI. We are gonna be playing our usual game that's on Saturday nights, but it was moved to tonight because of some players having lives. It was me. I hate it. I hate having a life. It's terrible. I had to go hang out with the girlfriend friends. But so we usually play Saturdays. We're playing oh, wrong screen. Scrub. Yeah, pretty much. So, thank you again for watching. Hang out for a while for 20 minutes. I'm gonna host Metal later on, or go to Metal's channel now. I'm sure some of us will be in the chat just hanging out before the game. Yeah, but do that. So until next time, I will catch all of you guys later. Bye.